Hello everyone and welcome back to DBF Football. On today's episode, I am going over the busts of the 2020 fantasy football season. This is my opinion, so if your favorite player, your favorite pick is on here, I'm sorry, but maybe you should go a different route. So starting off this list, you know what, I want to do running backs last. I like running backs the most. So let's start off easy with the best defense, okay? Please do not pick a defense in before the 10th round, because Chicago went before the 10th round last year, and 2 years ago they were amazing. They were number one defense and they're averaging well over 10 points a game, which was really good for a defense. But they fell to 17 last season. And people were drafting him before round 10. And it just makes no sense to me. San Francisco and the Pats are the two defense that are going before the 10th round. And please do a skilled position. Take a quarterback. Just take anything other than a dang defense before the 10th round. I'd rather just stream and play matchups, just pick the worst team in the league. Last season, it was whoever played the Jets did really well. Whoever played the Dolphins for the first part of the season did very well. So just pick those types of people. I'd rather just stream, so you should too. It usually works out. The next thing on my list I would like to talk about is any quarterback and tight end in the first two rounds, which this includes Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Travis Kelce, and George Kittle. They're all sprinkled in the second round, and I must say that is crazy. I am very old school with my fantasy approach. I'm very running back heavy, with, a balance, running backs and wide receivers, but mostly running backs. I usually wait on quarterback, usually wait on tight end. Like last season, I was able to pick up Mark Andrews for free, basically. Darn near the last round. Also got Josh Allen for basically free as well. So it happens, okay? It's very easy to pick up a decent quarterback and tight end. Very easy. Julio Jones, Devontae Adams, Chris Godwin are all wide receivers that go around the second round. And I don't understand any person that would want Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Travis Kelce, or George Kittle over Julio Jones, Devontae Adams, and Chris Godwin. It just does not make sense to me. Those are slam dunks. Even Eckler, Chris Carson, and Leonard Fournette go in the second to third round. And they are all players I would rather take. Easily. So just wait on quarterback and tight end. It really makes a lot more sense because you can just get a stud Devontae Adams, where you would pick Lamar Jackson. So you're not going to find a stud like that. Now let's talk about some wide receivers that I believe are going to bust this season. And the first one I would like to talk about is Mike Evans. No doubt there's a ton of talent, but I am scared of Tom Brady. Tom Brady is the GOAT. But Jameis was able to capitalize on Mike Evans' big playability. And I don't think Tom Brady will do that. He does not force balls into players. Jameis Winston did. He was great last season. I think he was 5th in fantasy, but he had 30 interceptions. That's why he got shipped out of town. Tom doesn't force many throws. And there's a sizable difference in arm strengths because Tom Brady cannot throw it that far. Well, can't throw it as far anymore. A second round pick is used on Evans at the moment. And I just would rather pick Chris Godwin over Evans because Evans is not the best value in the first two rounds. I would stay away from him. The next receiver, and I really don't understand how this guy could be a second and third round pick, is Kenny Galladay. He's a very solid player, no doubt. He is. He was third in fantasy standard leagues. But is it sustainable? 11 touchdowns on only 65 catches. I'm sorry, but that's not sustainable at all. That is a touchdown every 6 catches. The guy in second, Chris Godwin, had 9 touchdowns on 86 catches. So Galladay, he just won't sustain that. Every 6 catches is a touchdown. And him going in the first 3 rounds is way too rich for my blood. I just can't ever do that. The next wide receiver I would like to speak about is Tyreek Hill. A lot of mocks I've been in has this guy going as a first round pick. He's an extremely talented player and a great offense, don't get me wrong. He is amazing. But picking him is truly a gamble because 5 games, he only played 10. Half of those games he had less than 8 points. He had 4 games of more than 18 points in standard, but 5 games of less than 8 points as a number 1 wide receiver. As a first round pick, I just can't do that. The inconsistency is something that I'm very afraid of, so I can't really do that. But now, let's get into the running backs, the star of the show. The first running back I want to talk about is Miles Sanders. He has an ADP of the late second round. And he is on the Eagles with a coach that enjoys having a timeshare. Now Jordan Howard left, which is great, but Boston Scott still remains. And Philly likes Boston Scott because Boston Scott was the 21st running back. Number 21, while Miles Sanders was top 10 in the last 8 games whenever he got snaps. He's very talented, and he is running behind a tremendous offensive line. But his ADP is above Austin Eckler, Chris Carson, Kenyon Drake, and Leonard Fournette. Like, main guys. Not people in timeshares. So it's kind of scary for me to try and use a second round pick to pick up Miles Sanders. It's very tough because he is in Philly. The next guy I want to talk about is Aaron Jones. This guy is going in the first 2 rounds, and he should not be going there at all. He's extremely talented, but the guy had 19 touchdowns last season. That has to regress because his goal line carries were a lot of his touchdowns, but those are about to be vultured because they used a second round pick on A.J. Dillon, which is a big bruising back. Jamal Williams is also in the mix. So there is 3 running backs there, which includes a second round pick that they used this year. I don't know if Aaron Jones gets the ball as much, and I don't think he gets as many quality touches, inside the 5-yard line that he does last season. It's a mess in Green Bay. I'm staying away. The next guy is Nick Chubb. ESPN ranks him at number 8 with an ADP of the second round. Even first round I have seen. The guy is a very talented player. He was ranked number 6 in standard over the first 9 weeks. He averaged almost 16 points per game, which is insane. But then Kareem Hunt comes into town, and Chubb drops his average down to 11.6 points per game, with a point total that had them at number 11. 11 points is not the type of production I want from my number 1 first round pick. That terrifies me. In PPR, it's even worse because he only averages 13 a game, while Kareem Hunt was averaging 12.7, and Kareem Hunt's getting drafted 10 rounds later. So I just think that's crazy. it is crazy using a first round pick, especially in PPR. It's especially crazy in PPR using a first round pick on Nick Chubb. Please stay away. It's just way. Kareem Hunt's good, okay? He really is good. So is Nick Chubb, but just stay away. It scares me. And the last guy I want to talk about is Dalvin Cook. He has only averaged 10 games per season. He's very talented, but he is a huge injury risk. And on top of being an injury risk, there's a possibility that he holds out. My top 5 pick is going elsewhere. ESPN has him ranked at number 4 with an ADP in the top half of the first round. That is just way too much for a guy that's only going to give me 10 games. 10 great games, mind you, but it's 10 games. So I'd rather have a guy that plays 16 than 10. Dalvin Cook is someone that I am staying away from every single draft, and I've constantly made it a rule to stay away from him in the years prior as well. So just stay away from Dalvin Cook. Let's just go over the list one more time. Nick Chubb, Dalvin Cook, Aaron Jones. This is in no particular order, by the way. Miles Sanders, Tyreek Hill, Kenny Golladay, Mike Evans, any quarterback in tight end, Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes, George Kittle, Travis Kelce, and and the Patriots and the San Francisco 49ers defense. Stay away from all these guys because they will not provide the return on investment that you are looking for. And that will conclude this video. I hope everyone enjoyed listening to this, and I hope everyone has a wonderful week.